Alright, so how I practice movement and how I practice bunny hopping in general. So I've been asked quite a lot by friends, how do you practice, how do you, master your movement, and just how do you just basically train your jumping and your hopping and strafing and all that other stuff. So I'm just going to give you guys just a brief overview of what I tend to do. I do this every single day when I get on CS. First thing I'll do is jump into free-fall deathmatch, get my aim warmed up a bit, get that movement, going a little bit, and then I'll often jump into a training map like this, get my smokes nailed, and then I'll get onto like the B-hopping and the KZ servers and all that stuff. So if you're looking at getting into B-hopping, it's not hard to an extent, because it's just more down to like muscle memory. Like if you have really bad muscle memory, then it's going to be quite challenging. Dude, I really got to turn on music. Wait, let me turn on the music. It didn't even turn down. Okay, we'll just leave it on. But yeah, so B-hopping is not too hard. It's just like you have to just practice and practice. It's not something that will come easily. Like, sure, every once in a while you might hit the odd really nice hop and then go on for a good line or two, but typically most average you're gonna get is 4 to 5. I think my highest is 14 in a game, and I think that was solely down to luck, really. But as you see here, I'm literally just, you see how I'm just practicing jumping and jumping, like jumping onto this bin and jumping up onto, like up over here. This is very good, because if I was to come here with an AWP, like, let's just get an AWP out. So if I was to come up here with an AWP start of the game, I could just instantly jump up here and peek ramp. This is where I practice my movement. So basically, I'll find little spots like this, for instance, maybe on nuke or whatever, and I'll literally just come and I'll just, strafe up, get my AWP out. But what I'll tend to do, like if I'm like in like a proper serious game, I'll tend to pull my AWP out like about here. So when I get up here, it's already pulled out. Actually, let me quickly go turn on this music real quick. Alright. Okay, there we go. But it's just a bit too loud. Alright. So if you really want to like practice your movement, the way to get it, like to learn how to increase your movement better and faster, in my opinion, is just to play, because everyone out there has unique movement as I see it. Because if you try and copy someone else's movement and you don't fully understand like how to move like they do, you're gonna be fucking up. Like I know Shroud, like from his streams, from what I've watched, he tends to do like this like little wiggle, like when he jumps and B-hops and like wiggles and then shoots and stuff like that. Basically, if you try and copy like a professional play style, 9 times out of 10 you're going to just get instantly wrecked, because you're not going to understand how they play, like their minds of how they play and their movement, like how they move. Because everyone's playstyle is different in my eyes. Some people might disagree. You might think, oh no, your playstyle is exactly the same as on let's say Tweeday. But no, I think everyone's playstyle is very differently, and that's where personal preferences come in. Like some people don't even consider B-hopping to be like a crucial part of CS. Some people just believe it to be like an additional like skill set, which I can sort of see in a way. But also I believe bunny hopping can definitely improve a player, and by improve I don't just mean like, oh yeah, it can make you look good. No, I think it can definitely help you, like by getting mid picks. Like for instance here, like let's say I was CT side, right, and let's say I spawned here and I got a pretty decent mid spawn here. I'm not gonna lie, I could 9 times out of 10 I could get the pick just by running. But if you can B-hop, you could literally just like B-hop straight down. And what I tend to do here is, if I get the right velocity, I can just B-hop. Literally, what I can do is I can B-hop down to here, jump on this bench, jump off, and get the velocity and jump like up over these stairs and not even clip them, and then just B-hop straight over here, get on the bin, put out my AWP halfway through, get the pick, and fall back. And B-hopping does have its advantages, but it also has its massive disadvantages, because if you fuck up like in the middle of a hop and let's say like I don't know, you're B-hopping from here towards long, for instance, and I'll just fuck up right here. So let's say you're doing this and then you stop and you're like, oh shit, and you try and do that. You know, you can not like you can get killed really easily, and you know, it's not something I'd recommend doing all the time. But if you have the confidence and you feel like you're gonna hit the hops, you know, go for it. That's all I can say. And you know, B-hopping, it's not for everyone. What I would recommend playing if you want to start B-hopping properly, I wouldn't recommend macros because they can be very inconsistent, and you know, it's very looked down upon, macros, because it's not considered like skillful B-hopping. It's literally just considered holding down a key or a certain bind which will start the macro. It's not very considered, and it's very looked down upon in my eyes. What I recommend doing, I personally play, I'll show you what I play. I play scroll wheel down to jump. That's just what I personally play. People, you can be up in spacebar, don't get me wrong. I know people, for instance Mercs, he be ups on spacebar and he's pretty good at be upping on spacebar. But if you want the most consistent hops and you want to be able to air strafe like really well, I would personally recommend scroll wheel, because it feels more natural, at least to me. Now, you know, spacebar might be more natural for you for air strafing, because you know, you could know the air strafe like off by heart, and you know, you could just air strafe like that with spacebar. When for me personally, I can't do that with spacebar, not because I'm inconsistent, but just because it doesn't feel natural. But with me, I can just air strafe around here, and let's say let's say I had a flash and I was to flash over, I could air strafe out, potentially dodge some bullets who were shooting like mid here, come out, wait for them to peek out, get the kill, and fall back. It's all down to what you prefer. Like, if you really want, if you're adamant on learning to be up and doing it in a competitive setting, I would definitely recommend going on the B-hop servers first. You know, just getting that raw adjustment down for B-hop, and you know, definitely then, you know, practicing, going into just deathmatch, like casual deathmatch, and just practicing, just jumping around, B-hopping, you know, getting your movement set. And you know, it's very important that before you start doing it in like a proper competitive setting, that you take the time out of your day to actually learn how to B-hop, because there's no point in literally just like, you know, saying you can B-hop and all, but then when you try it in like an actual competitive setting, 9 times out of 10 you just die, and then you know, you get mad and you always then think, you know, why is this happening to me? You know, I can B-hop, but also like, oh yeah, this is a pretty good smoke as well, because if you're sat like right here in the corner, you could just even cross the sandbag, or even better, you could literally just, you could be a cunt, you could molly there, or even funnier, like you can just bounce a molly off the wall right here into the corner and get anyone in the sandbag. So you know, that's just a quick tip. Be back on the B-hopping and like air strafing, like that's the B-hop side of things, what I tend to do. You know, that's my normal warm-up routine. I'm going to show you what I do for movement now. I mentioned a minute ago air strafing. My part of my movement is a lot of air strafing. Like if you watch my streams or like just my YouTube videos in general, like my CSGO highlights, I do tend to like strafe quite a lot. Like for instance, if I'm coming down here for fast pick aggressions on CT, let's say like, let's say I have a, oh fuck it, let's say I can't even buy a Nova, can I? Alright, you know, I'll just use a Nova for example. Right, so let's say, right, I'm coming from, okay, let's say I'm on B side, right, and I'm anticipating a B rush from short. What I tend to do is flash over, and then I tend to just air strafe onto here and surf. Now surfing is actually really good, because you can literally just come over here, fire up a few shots. If they come connector, you have a Nova which has good range, so you know, you can easily defend yourself. You could probably try and be up down to here as well. It all depends on you, but this is really good, especially like on pistol rounds. Like if you have like a USP, you can just come down here, or even like a Glock. Let's like you pick up a Glock from here, and you to come down here, and you just anticipate a short rush from here. You come down here, surf, burst, and then fall back. It's very good. Like I'd recommend learning to surf first before learning to B-hop, because surfing's more used on maps like Overpass, where you can just come over here, you know, get that quick kill from surfing. And you know, these are just what I do personally to warm up and stuff. Another thing about strafing is if you want to play like overpass, it's worth coming over here and towards seats 1 and coming towards B, right? What you can do is you can try and strafe on from here onto this. So it's literally just like that. That's strafing in the air. Now it's worth practicing this a lot, because when you can strafe like that on a consistent basis, you know you're definitely getting better. So you know, these are all things that I'd recommend. These are all things that I do personally as well. Another good place here is when you start like timing your jumps correctly, you can start just jumping up things like this really quick instead of having to go, you know, 1, 2, 3. Like this here, this can get you like killed. If you're on like a rotation, you can lose a lot of time by just jumping up one at a time like this. But if you were to learn your strafes and your jumps like correctly, you could just go 1, 2, 3, and you can be up within like a whole split second. And that can probably win you the round if you were to, you know, get your ass over to A site or wherever you're going. Even like you try like come over through connect, which I wouldn't recommend you doing. If you're going for a BB taking your T-spawn, I'd recommend just coming through Munster, which is over the other side of here. Just go through there for Munster. I would not recommend going up there and then around there. It's just not worth it. But yeah, that's it for what I tend to do, guys, to practice my B-hops, my strafes, and not really surf. I tend to go on surf servers to do that, really. But yeah, hopefully you guys found this interesting and helpful. If you want to see more tips, or just like what I do in general, just to train and stuff like that, make sure to comment down below. And yeah, hope to see you guys in the next video. Have a good day.